Both of you? Yes, please introduce. Check, 1 second. Check.
ഞാൻ അർജുൻ സി എസ്. ഞാൻ ഡോക്ടർ സോമവൽ മെമ്മോറിയൽ CSI മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിലെ 2ാം വർഷ MBBS വിദ്യാർത്ഥിയാണ്. എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമ്മൾ ഈ കൊച്ചു കുട്ടികളെ കണ്ടില്ലേ, അവർ നടക്കാൻ പഠിക്കുന്നത്, അവർ നടക്കാൻ പഠിക്കും, വീഴും, നടക്കാൻ നോക്കും, വീഴും. നമ്മളും അങ്ങനെ ആയിരിക്കണം. പബ്ലിക് സ്പീക്കിങ്ങിലായാലും ജീവിതത്തിലായാലും സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യയിലായാലും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഐ വാണ്ട് ടു സേ. നെവർ ഗിവ് അപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ബെസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ലക്ക്.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you, dear. My name is Sharon. And first of all, greetings to the distinguished panel of judges. I have this notion always in my mind, why do we fall? And the answer is, we fall not just to get up, but also to know how we fall. Just
exactly.
That.
So good luck,
Greetings.
both of you. And for the motion, your 1 minute starts now.
97, the number of hartals that took place in 2018. 98, the number of hartals that took place in 2017. 363, the number of hartals that took place from 2005 to 2012. One thing definitely is increasing in our country, the number of hartals. Maybe not the GDP, but the number of hartals. Every hartal causes an economic loss of rupees 2,000 crore for the state. According to the Kerala Vyabari Vyavasaya Ekopana Samiti, there is a loss of 20 to 25 crore for small and medium scale traders. Daily wage workers are mostly affected because they don't have a secondary form of income. So they suffer from hunger. They may also suffer from a loss of life due to hartals. Hartals are creating a negative impression on the tourism industry. Hartals hamper the foreign investment in the state. Hartal cause a loss of man hours. Hartals have destroyed public and private property to such an extent. Every time a hartal takes place, a public KSRTC bus is destroyed. I don't know why, maybe for fun, but it is definitely destroyed. Hartals are further causing tourism decline to...
Thank you so much. Your time up. Against the motion, your 1 minute starts now.
The best road to progress is freedom's road. When JF Kennedy said this, surely he demarcated among social progress, economic progress, ecological progress, and political progress. In my opinion, a country's democratic tradition with its multi-party system should involve active participation of civil society. Freedom to protest is such a great asset. It is a weapon against authoritarian dispensation. Our constitution promises political freedom, and political freedom means right of the people to control and influence the government through protest, and in our language we call it hartals. And my question is, when we believe judicial activism could safeguard our progress, why can't we think the same about the political activism that is a hartal? And secondly, if hartals are on the rise, it is a failure of the government which could have done much better to meet the needs of the common people. In India, when all types of protests are trapped by laws, hartal is the only kind of protest where common people can participate and which is less limited by prescribed laws.
Your time up.
Hence, it promises absolute freedom.
Your time up. Now we have 3 minutes for the debate. May I please? Your time starts now.
May I remind you that common people are afraid to get out. They're not participating, they're just afraid to get out. And secondly, you said it is a form of protest. Now let me tell you about that. When Saddam Hussein was killed, there was a hartal in Kerala. When the American president decided to visit India, there was a hartal. When AKG was criticized by a Congress MLA, there was a hartal. For every single reason, from serious to silly, our form of solution has become to conduct a hartal. Such forms where fundamental rights are violated, where the economic progress of the country is hampered, and loss of life and loss of property is taken to a whole new level. Is this the form of protest we really want?
The literal and historical meaning of hartal itself is non-violence. So it all depends upon the people who announces hartal whether to be non-violent or violent. One of the factors that contributed to naming Kerala's economy as Kerala model of development was the political consciousness of our people. And protests like hartals are reflections of our political consciousness. Now, when coming to the eco-friendly manner of hartals, when Delhi government failed to reduce pollution using laws, hartals did it without enforcing laws upon the people. And plus, it also gives it a reserve of foreign exchange through cut on the imports of crude oil.
Please.
You said about the eco-friendly methods. If we want to use eco-friendly methods, maybe we should stop from using plastic bags. We should stop using petroleum products and use electric fuel. In that way, we can contest an eco-friendly hartal. And secondly, the origin of hartals. Mahatma Gandhi himself instituted hartal, and he himself later said it during the Punjab crisis that non-cooperation movement was a blunder and the Indians were not ready for non-cooperation. Further, he pointed out that introduction of hartal in the Indian community was a Himalayan blunder, and he himself repented by satyagraha.
Okay.
My dear friend, Mahatma Gandhi's main focus was removing inequality from the society. Now, the problem of asymmetric information, that's a major inequality in our economy. But this asymmetric information's problem can be solved only through collective bargaining, and that happens only through productive hartal protests and strikes. And plus, you talked about common people's inability to act during hartals. Do you remember that Sandhya, the middle class housewife, who verbally took against hartals in Trivandrum? So people can do it. This is India. India supports individualism. It's up to the people whether to do something or not to
Okay,
do
yes.
something.
Yes,
during
I
hartal.
completely agree with you. People must protest. People must fight against the government laws which are bad for the people. But that should not be in a way that endangers somebody else's right to freedom, somebody else's right to travel, somebody else's right to work. Such laws should not be endangered. Furthermore, have you noticed that the number of private buses in the state has reduced from 30,000 to 14,000? One of the main reasons for this is hartal. The number of KSRT buses plying on our roads have further really reduced. That is due to hartals. KSRTC is already under economic stress, and this hartal further decreases the number of buses.
Yes, please.
If you're talking about the economic side of the hartals, I can clearly give you a thesis done by Sharif Hussain. He said, in the economic side of the hartal, when we do an analysis, he found that on the long term, hartals have insignificant negative impact
Thank you so
on
much.
government.
Now you have 30 seconds each to conclude your statement. Your time starts now.
My dear friend, you have misconcluded the meaning of protest and hartal. Protests are necessary, but hartals not. Hartals cripple the economy. They violate the very fundamental rights of the citizens. They destroy life and property. Hartals are barbaric, illegal, inconstitutional vandalations, and such solutions are not the ones we need for a country like India. For the progress of the country, further protests which are safe, which are economically viable, should be instituted. Hartals should be removed. Hartals are an hindrance to the economic growth of the country.
Thank you. Your time up.
I conclude.
Against the motion, your
Har-
30 seconds starts now.
Hartal is not an hindrance to progress, but it safeguards progress. Progress happens only in a balanced way. Progress happens only through constructive debates and protests. Only if criticisms prevail and the rulers fear uprising and agitations from the common people, the economy, the social, the political development can occur in our country. And it is up to the individuals what to do and what not to do during hartal days. That's it.
Thank you so much, both of you. Kindly come forward and show your hands. Can we give a big round of applause to both of them?
Speak for India.